Welcome into the In the Money podcast for Wednesday, April 17th at Keeneland. I'm Tom Leach along with Jim Goodman, Keeneland's Director of Wagering Development. No stake on the Wednesday card, so we'll just take a look at the late pick four. And Jim, it starts with 2-year-old maiden fillies going 5.5. Got a couple of Wesley Wards in there. What are you going to do in the first leg?
I think I'm going to use a couple of Wesley Wards. What do you think? I think that's pretty good handicapping. At Keeneland, use Wesley Wards, and I a lot of times the one that is assigned the higher morning line is live as well. So I'm going to use both. I guess you pronounce it Nayibeth.
Sounds good to me.
Best I can do. Of the 2-horse, and at least Pataglia in the morning line puts that horse at 7-5. But Owlette, the 7, has been working not quite as fast, and I guess that's the only difference. The 2-horse cost a lot more, so it's probably the preferred one from Wesley's owners. A horse that cost $250,000. First time starter, obviously, and has been working lights out here at Keeneland. So probably a 3-5 shot instead of 7-5. Just in case, I'm going to use the other Wesley Ward. I'm going to use Ben Colebrook's horse, Diamonds R.A. Has been working. Ben doesn't work them that fast, but he does get them ready, and he'll pop one every once in a while. And just in case Wesley's horses are overbet, I think the alternative might be Ben Colebrook. But in a 2-year-old filly race, you can take a stand with Wesley Ward and probably come out okay.
Yeah, I'm looking at the same 3 horses you are. By pick 4 ticket, I'm actually going to single the 2-horse Nayibeth, and if that one scratches, then I would just go to the stablemate Owlette. But I think the Colebrook horse is interesting too, and I single particularly Nayibeth because we talked to Wesley Ward for a Today at Keeneland interview at the start of the meet. And that horse was entered that day, but didn't get in off the also eligible list, and he was really high on her. So off that interview and the fact that I couldn't narrow down the other 3 races, I thought I would single Nayibeth when we come to the pick 4. Second leg of it is a maiden turf or maiden 3-year-old race at a mile on the turf, and I thought you got a shot to get a price in here. There is a Chad Brown trade deadline that will certainly attract a lot of money, but I'm going to go to Spiritus Invictus at 15-1 for Rusty Arnold. This horse took some money in its debut. I think it was like 7 or 8-1. Had a bad post, the 10-hole at Gulfstream, so a short run into the turn there. Got hung with a wide trip, not surprisingly. And the fact that the horse took money and then had some bad racing luck, I think might get overlooked here. The 1, Rochambeau, Bar Harbor came out of that last race and won very impressively here last weekend, so I think you got to take a look at that horse. Couple off the also eligible list for Pletcher and Cassie, respectively. Play the Kid and Lord Wimborne I would take a look at if either one of those draw in. Big Torch Key would be the other one that I'll use on a pick 4 ticket, but I'm going to try to find a price here with Spiritus Invictus in the second leg. How about you?
Yeah, I think this one's wide open. I think the 2 horses that you use come out of the same race, and Spiritus Invictus hasn't run since that time, and Rochambeau also has not run, but ran much better that day. But I think Spiritus Invictus may have more upside. Rusty Arnold really likes to win here, so I think you're right there. I'm going to use the 4 trade deadline. You've got to use Chad Brown in a maiden race. Horse had a really rough race at February in Gulfstream in February, and it said prolonged pressure, and it was a battle all the way, and gave it up at the end. Might have taken a little bit out of it. That's why he hadn't run back for a couple months. But trade deadline is probably live. Bourbon Calling for Ian Wilkes in Le Peru. This horse has been very consistent. Is a second and 2/3 of the last 3 races, so maybe he's due. Bourbon Lane Stables is always want to win at Keeneland as well. We use Higher Authority for Joe Sharp. The horse hadn't had very good speed ratings, but first time on the turf at Fairgrounds, jumped up from a 48 to a 66 buyer and only almost won. So you got to figure out that Joe's going to run this horse on the turf after shipping him to Oaklawn and not doing very well on the dirt at all. Big Torch Key, the 7 for Dale Romans, good debut at Gulfstream back on March 10th at 41-1. So this horse has a shot as well. That's the 5 or 6 I've got to take a look at here. Got to go deep here because it's a maiden mile on the turf where you can really get a price.
Claiming $50K in the 7th race at a mile on the dirt. And where did you go here?
Well, I have to have a single somewhere, and I looked at this one as the most logical. I really like Stonehands, the 3-horse for John Sadler. This is one of the horses that you talk about coming out of California. Not a top-level horse right now, although he was last year. He ran the Grade 2 San Carlos and the Grade 1 Bing Crosby. Didn't threaten the winners, but didn't embarrass himself either. And then they had him at Santa Anita, and this, like I said, we're seeing some horses come from California. They didn't ship him over here just for fun. They're shipping him to try to get a win. And I think Stonehands with Rosario, who's been riding lights out, he's as hot as anybody on the grounds except Castellano. So he's got 9 wins and 23 mounts. So I think this horse is probably my best single. And the reason I did, I have question marks about the other 2 favorites, Iconic and McCormick. McCormick's much better on turf and hasn't run on dirt since November of last year and didn't run that well at Churchill. And so I'm questioning whether he's going to be ready to get back on the dirt and have his top effort. And then Iconic for Robbie Alvarado just is in bad form, and it's his first time out since last November. Robbie's been cold as can be, and so I had some questions about Iconic, even though he's won here at Keeneland, just hasn't proven it lately. So that's why I kind of, and Tiz Noble, the other one from Michael Tomlinson, this horse has been claimed the last 5 races. And I don't like a horse that goes from barn to barn, although this one certainly has enough talent in his back races to win this race. So kind of eliminated the other contenders in here and wound up on Stonehands. But I think out of the others, Tiz Noble is probably my second choice, but taking a stand here with 3.
3 is where I started to go, and then I changed to Go Navy Go. I thought those fields that this horse has been running against, Compass Zone the last time out down at Fairgrounds, those are some pretty good allowance, low-level stake horses there that this one's been challenging. And then when he's been at this level before, has run well. Mike Maker, very good at this meet, and Tyler Gaffleone rides. So I thought for a little bit of a price, I went to Go Navy Go. Stonehands, though, was the one I was between the 3 and the 4 here. I also took a look at Tiz Noble and McCormick. I'm not much on the 1 in here, but Tiz Noble in particular, just with 13 first and second place finishes out of 19 starts, that record of consistency, I'm going to use him on my ticket as well. 8th race is really the feature, the allowance non-winners of 2 other than at 1.5 miles on the turf. And I ended up going to 7 here. Take That for Data for Brad Cox. This horse looks to be in really good form. 8-1. I don't know if you'll get that price. 3rd start off the layoff, so could run better. Royal Artillery, I think, could jump up here and run better. We interviewed Nacho Correas for the Today at Keeneland show, and he said they were just kind of learning about this horse and those races in Florida, and really had this spot picked out for a while because this horse wants to go long. He said he's just a plodding horse that loves this marathon distance, and this will hit him right between the eyes. So I think he's got a shot here to improve. Saracen, the 12. I like that one. Zamurity, the 4. Nipawa, the 8. All of those kind of about equal for me. So I'm going to go deep here in the pick 4 as well. But I'm going to try to find a little bit of a price with Take That for Data. How about you?
I like Take That for Data. I agree with you. The 8-1 morning price seems to be a little ambitious there. It's for 10 Strike Racing, one of my friends from Memphis named Marshall Graham, who's an economist, and he has a really great grasp on the business part of this game. Has 10 Strike Racing, and hopefully he'll come up. He was at the Arkansas Derby last weekend, didn't play my contest. So if he shows up, you can pretty much say Take That for Data is live here. I can use a lot in here. I'm going to go deep. I think Zumu R-U-D. I have no idea how you pronounce that. Zamurdi, is that what you said?
Zamurdi, but I'm guessing.
Zumu R-U-D might be something. I have no idea. But the 4-horse for Gaffleone fits right here off the last races at Fairgrounds, and has to come from way out of it, so needs some pace up front. Don't know if they're going to get that in this race or not. But Camp Creek, the 5 for Kevin Attard. He doesn't have that many horses here, but is a pretty good trainer in Canada. Nipawa for Giroux is probably going to be one of the favorites for Mark Casse. Off that last race at Gulfstream, really needed the race, but if you go back to his form at Laurel, was really right there every time. And then the 12-horse Saracen for Christophe Clement and Rosario. anytime Rosario rides for Clement, I'm going to put him in there. He's 24% with him. So going deep there, I think this is another race that you can spread and try to make some money.
All right, let's go to the pick 4 tickets. As I said, I'm going to single Neabeth on the first leg, the 2-year-old filly maiden race. If she should scratch, I'll go to the other Wesley Ward, but I wouldn't be as confident in the single. And I singled because I'm spreading out elsewhere using 6 horses in the 1 mile turf race, 1, 4, 7, 10, 13, and 15. Now, 2 of those have to draw in, so that could cut the price of the ticket down. Mine's going to be a $60 ticket. That could cut the price of the ticket down, and you could throw in another horse perhaps on the front leg in that 2-year-old maiden race if you want to do that. 2, 3, 4, 5 in the third leg for me, the ones I mentioned. And then the last leg, all the ones I mentioned there, 4, 7, 8, 10, 12. So 1 by 6 by 4 by 5 for a $60 ticket for me on the pick 4 for Wednesday. How about you?
Got a lot of similar horses, but a little bit of a different structure. I went 3 deep in the first leg. That might be wasting some money because Wesley Ward's probably going to win it, but I went 2, 4, 7, throwing the Colebrook horse in there, hoping to get a price. Second leg, the 6th race, I went 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10. Probably trade deadline for Chad Brown is my top pick in there, but I can go deep here. I don't have a real strong opinion. So 6 horses there. Singling the 3 horse in the 7th race, Stone Hands for John Savin and Joel Rosario. And then got plenty of money for the last leg. I'm going 6 deep with the 1, 4, 5, 7, 8, 12. Really no strong opinion there. Take that for data. And possibly Nipawa are probably my 2 top picks there. But I'm going 2, 4, 7 with 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 with 3 with 1, 4, 5, 7, 8, 12 for $54.
Best of luck with your wagers on the Wednesday card. We'll be back Thursday for another edition of the In the Money podcast from KeenelandSelect.com.